welcome back to Practice Intimacy. This is the place to be for anyone who wants connected, deep relationships and a great sex life. Today, what we're going to be talking about is triggers and what to do whenever you are upset. So I made this video last week and I had a few people reach out to me saying, okay, I get the parts, I understand hurt parts, I understand protective system, but what do I do whenever these are active? So that's what we're going to get into today. Remember to subscribe to my channel and like this video, and if you get something out of it that you think your partner or other people might benefit from, send it to them. This is meant to be a resource to help anyone who wants to be in a great relationship. When it comes to feeling triggered, most of us know what it feels like. The hurt parts, they usually come with fear, anxiety, lots of tears, feeling overwhelmed, feeling incapable. Protective stances, they can have all kinds of different flavors to them. They're the ones that might lash out at the person that you love because they've upset you. They might close off because you're upset. They might chase after the person, trying to get them to make you feel better. And when either one of these is active, you're not actually capable of being in relationship well. Let me break that down just a little bit before we go any further. So, with hurt parts, what's actually happening in your brain is that you're being flooded by emotions. Emotions tend to happen most in the center of your brain, the deepest part of the brain. So if this is the brain stem, and this is the subcortical area, or the limbic system, they often call it, and then this is the outside of the brain, the neocortex that's wrapped around the subcortical area. Emotions happen here. And when we're emotionally flooded, we're not actually able to use our neocortex, which does rationality, the ability to connect with another person, empathy, and instead we're just in a feeling state. And so when we're in hurt parts, you're not actually in a place to connect with another person well, and you need to calm down before you can move toward connection. Protective stances are also going to keep you from being able to connect with the person that you want to connect to in that moment. Because physiologically, what a protective stance is meant to do is to not care about my partner and only care about me and how I feel, and do something to keep me from hurting anymore. Its job is to protect me, and it does not care about your partner or the person you love. So you also need to calm down protective stances before you can try again to be connected to the person that you're wanting to connect to, usually a partner. Or at least that's who I see in my therapy practice. I work with a lot of couples. And so protective stances, they come up trying to help you manage whatever you're feeling, trying to protect you from getting more hurt. And it's not possible to be deeply connected to your partner in that moment. So then the next step is to do something about it. And I wanted to share a few practices. So 2 of them are more mental exercises, and then one's a physical practice. First, there is a move that often is referred to as witnessing. Dan Siegel calls this integration of consciousness. And basically what you're doing is you're developing your ability to watch your own system. So imagine you've got some kind of hurt happening. And a good example of this would just be a hurt part that feels like it's not enough, and something your partner said or did caused you to move into a space where you're telling yourself, I'm not enough. It's usually not actually about your partner, it's your own history coming up, but you get flooded with this sense of I'm not good enough. It feels scary, lonely, your heart constricts, your breath might speed up, you might have heat flush through your entire body. And the move to do the witnessing is to put your hand wherever you feel the most activation. For me, it's usually in my chest, but it could be anywhere in your body. So place your hand there, and then through the palm of your hand, communicate to that sensation, I see you. And what you'll notice whenever you do that, this witnessing move, is your nervous system calms down a little bit. The sensation shrinks a little bit. It becomes more manageable. And the reason that that happens is because whenever we do this witnessing move, what we're actually doing in the brain is activating the orbital medial prefrontal cortex, and then also the ventral medial prefrontal cortex. And when we do that, it inhibits the subcortical area. Another way to say that would be, by witnessing, we turn on the part of our brain, the neocortex, the newest part of our brain, that is able to regulate and calm down the emotional part of the brain, or the older parts of the brain, the subcortex. And if you're not interested in the neuroscience language, just let it go in one ear and out the other. That is okay. I'm nerdy about this stuff, so I like to share it. So that's one move, is the witnessing. Another move that I actually really like, and this comes from one of my mentors, her name is Kristen Marie Sweeting. What she suggests is to put your hand wherever you're feeling the big emotion and then name it. Dan Siegel also talks about this. He calls it name it to tame it. So imagine I'm feeling really angry. This is a protector in this case. My protective system is pissed off at my partner. My partner did something that made me upset, and I'm just like, "Arr." So what I might do is put my hands wherever I feel the anger. So I might put my hands on my jaw, and I would say, right here, I feel angry. And again, I'm just witnessing, but the other thing I'm doing, this naming the feeling, in that case, what is happening is you're turning on the left part of your brain, which does language. And by turning on the left side, you inhibit the right side of your brain where most of the emotional stuff is happening. It's not split in the way we often think about. All of this is connected, the brain is connected, but language does happen on the left side. Most of the left mode processing is very logical, whereas the right side does not use language, it uses metaphor, and it mainly deals with emotions. So by putting your hands on the place where you're feeling the big emotion and naming it in simple language, sad, mad, happy, angry, then you're turning on the left side of your brain, you're inhibiting the right side of your brain, and you're calming your system down. So there are lots of things that you can do after calming yourself down some, after soothing your system. Today I'm just going to go into one possibility because I think it's helpful to start there, and then I'll build on this as we continue to talk about all these different ways you can take care of yourself and become a better partner. The next thing that you could do after calming your system down is to find a way to release the stress, because it is stressful to be in a hurt part or a protective stance. And you need a little bit of a break before you attempt to come back and mend whatever happened between you and your partner. So one of my favorite ways to do this, one of the most researched and scientifically validated ways to do this would be movement. Moving your body in some way. Ideally, if you're coming out of a big emotion, then that movement would include some kind of binaural stimulation, because that can actually help us process what has just happened. So walking, running, swimming, anything where you're getting each side of your body activated, alternating from one to the other. If you're a gym rat, then that would look like doing alternating single leg lunges or alternating bicep curls, just anything where you're getting one side of the body and then the other side of the body. Because when you're doing that, you're lighting up your brain on each side, and it helps us to process whatever has been happening. But I also find that things like yoga are equally helpful. And in most yoga, you're getting both sides of the body as well. It's just that you're doing it much more slowly than if you were walking or jogging or swimming. I hope this is helpful to you. I will be back, of course, next week with more information, and I'm actually really excited to announce that I'm going to be uploading more videos that are purely about practice. I personally have a formal practice of Tantra yoga. I've been doing that for years, and it's my main practice, although I do many other things based on research I read or on just different experience I've had that are helpful. I'll be sharing a little bit of everything, but most of the practices are going to come from Tantra Yoga, just because I find yoga to be so helpful in my life, and it's one of my favorite things to show others. So if you're wanting to do more active practice where I'm leading you through it step by step and we're engaging each other and I'm guiding you through that process, then subscribe to my channel and be on the lookout for those videos. Bye for now.